Hi, this is Randy Finney with Right Side of the Chart, and today is Wednesday, June 13th, 2018. Wanted to do a video on the investing.com charting platform, and maybe at the end of the video, I'll touch on they have a great mobile app as well. Very useful feature for traders or investors alike. So this is one of, I get the question put to me a lot, Randy, what charting platform do you use? I actually use about a half dozen, and this is one of many that I use. It's a supplemental charting app that I use in addition to my go-to charting app. Um, and the reason is there's not any one charting application or program that has all the features that I want. Each one has their pros and cons, and they all have their own shortcomings. So therefore, yeah, I'll use several. I also run four different monitors, at any one time with literally dozens of streaming charts. And therefore, each one, some of those are in different charting platforms. And again, I can get some of the features I need on one and just jump over to another if that one's lacking in those features. So, with all that being said, my recommendation to anyone new to investing, trading, or technical analysis and charting, you don't need a half dozen. You can do with one charting platform that would be fine, and this one would do great for you. However, my advice would be to start with your broker. If you're trading or investing, it means you have a brokerage account, even if you're paper trading. Um, Most brokers have excellent charting platforms, and the benefit of going with your broker is they typically won't charge you any exchange fees. The charting platform is free if you have an account with them. They're going to take care of your exchange fees. Some may or may not offer real-time data on things like futures, depends on your broker. But this investing.com not only provides free real-time streaming charts on stocks and ETFs, but also on futures accounts as well. And as I often say, even if you don't trade futures or have any desire to trade futures, I think it makes sense to track futures if you're trading ETFs, indexes, commodities, things like that. The reason is, let's say you're a SPY or QQQ trader. The SPY and QQQ and the daily charts you're looking at, those are trades from 9:30 a.m. until 4 o'clock Eastern time, and that's only part of the day. Whereas the futures, and we're looking here, this chart's the S&P 500 E-minis, and the Nasdaq 100 futures. They trade virtually around the clock from Sunday evening through Friday evening. And they only shut down for a very brief period each day, so virtually 24 hours trading. And what that means is it can paint a different technical picture. You can see trend lines and horizontal price support and resistance levels that you may not pick up on the QQQ chart because you have a lot more trade. So and the same holds true if you're trading something, let's say USO, which is the one of the many tracking ETNs for crude. You can trade or at least chart CL, crude futures. You can see this falling wedge here on the 60-minute chart of crude futures. They broke out, and well, we did have that on USOs. Again, sometimes these patterns will align. However, sometimes they won't. And again, you can pick up some additional levels, support and resistance levels. And keep in mind, this is what the big boys are trading. This is what the institutions are trading for the most part. They're trading crude futures. They're not trading the ETNs. Those are, again, I'm generalizing, but mostly retail traders there in those. So that's my recommendation there is as to why you may want to incorporate the use of charting futures into your trading, even if you don't plan to trade futures. One more thing on that is if starting with your broker, for example, TD Ameritrade has the Thinkorswim trading platform, charting platform, but it's an add-on. If you open an account at TD Ameritrade, you're going to get their basic charts online. You need to download their Thinkorswim trading platform, charting platform. It's trading, charting capabilities, everything in there. You can watch CNBC through there on your computer. It has a little pop-up window, all kinds of good stuff. But you need to download that. It's free if you have an account with them, and they have advanced charting capabilities, which I'm not going to go off topic on this video. That's probably something to cover in a whole completely separate video. Fidelity, for example, you have an account at Fidelity, log on, you're going to get basic charts online. You need to download the Fidelity Active Trader Pro charting platform, and then you'll have much more different features and advantages with the charts, the ability to save templates and do all this good stuff like we're going to go over here. All right, so let's look at the how to go ahead and configure investing.com if you're interested in using their charts. I'm going to start by logging out, and then I'll show you the process involved in logging in and how to configure the charts to look like this. This is one of my layouts here, and you can see my watch list to the side, annotations, all that good stuff. Okay, when you visit investing.com, www.investing.com, it'll look something like this. You'll see pop-up boxes, news, you'll see ads all over the place. And I'll get to this in a second here, how we can get rid of those ads um, without even having to join them or subscribe to their premium service, their ad-free service. So the first thing you'll need to do is create an account. So just come up here to the top, click free sign up. You'll get that screen. You can go in with Facebook, Google, or if you want to be a little more private, just sign up by email. All they ask for is a name. You can put, you know, John Doe if you want, and an email account. That's all they need for you to sign up. You don't have to put your date of birth and all that other stuff, even if they prompt for it. So go ahead and create an account. Okay, so I already have an account, so I've logged in here. So once you're logged in, pick your username, or it's going to go off your first name, whatever you give them. Then you want to come over here to this little suitcase icon. Click on that. What that'll do is bring up your portfolios. These are your watch lists. I've already created these. You'll have to create at least one portfolio watch list, or you should. It makes it easier when you come in. So this one, I just left the default name portfolio, but it's really a portfolio of various futures. That's what we were looking at before when I was already logged in. And I have one here for metals. You can see silver, gold, platinum. Those are all futures. Oil and gas, I have some ETFs there for oil and gas sector, ETNs and futures. Various commodities, all via futures, cryptocurrencies as well. Once again, something that you don't get from most brokers. You won't get quotes on cryptocurrencies. So if you want to chart these and trade these, or at least get a feel for where the cryptocurrency sphere is going, this is another benefit to investing.com, all for free. All right, so what I need to do, we'll pick a portfolio. We'll go in this one. This is the one we were looking at before. This is my go-to portfolio. So I clicked on portfolio, and now what I need to do, you'll see down here, here's portfolio. All the different portfolios will show up under these tabs. And what we need to do right here, we click on charts. So let me clear that out. I'm going to click on charts, and it will then load my portfolio. It will show the first item, and on that previous page we're at, you can sort these. You can change the order of all your items in your watch list. Whichever one's on top will load first. So as you can see, I need to scroll down a little. And what's happening, the screen's being pushed down because of this annoying pop-up ad. You're going to get that just about anywhere now where you're not paying, and even then you pay. I pay for the Wall Street Journal, and I go online, they pop ads up everywhere, even as a paid customer. So hard to get away from nowadays. But here's how we're going to get away from it. Here's a little trick. All you do is click on this right here. These four arrows, full screen mode, boom. So basically I logged in, selected my portfolio, and hit full screen mode. I will never see another ad as long as I'm logged in now. That's the beauty of this, as long as it lasts. It's been working for years now. Soon, I'm sure once this video gets out there on YouTube and somebody at investing.com gets hold of it, they'll say, oh, we have to figure out a way to cram an ad in on this page. But they do offer, again, guys, they offer the ability, click on your username, and right here, ad-free version. $40 a year, $39.99. That's a few bucks a month. I don't feel the need because I come to this full screen chart no matter what because I like clean charts. I don't want to see wasted white space. I don't want to see ads or anything. Um, so if they start putting ads on this page, sure, I'm glad to give them $40 a year. But right now, there's no reason because those are the steps. Log in, pick your portfolio, and then come here. There's a couple more steps to do. Now you'll notice these little buttons here, N and P. P is a pattern, a chart pattern, or a candlestick pattern in this case, I should say, a candlestick patterns. There's a bearish engulfing candle it pointed out, tells you what that pattern is, medium reliability. Here's another 3 outside, down bearish day, high reliability, bearish reversal pattern. So you have 2 bearish patterns right there in a row. If you're new to trading, investing, new to candlestick charting, you might want to leave that on. There's all the news headlines, anything related to the security that you're on. I'm not a big fan of that, so I go down here, I right-clicked on this chart, and I'm going to click Hide Marks on Bars. That setting, unfortunately, will not save. Every time I log in, I have to do that again. just the nature of this program. And then finally, the last thing we need to do is come up here and click load chart layout. Now what this will do is load all the settings that I have for the indicators, trend lines, everything that I've saved before on all my charts. Uh, and so let's go ahead and click that and load that and get rid of this. So now there's one more step I need to do, and that this is a little extra side thing. This doesn't have to do with investing.com. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. You have the ability right here. You can either click on properties down here, right there, or you can go up here to the chart properties and change the background color. Since I work, say average, I work 8 to 10 hours a day sitting in this chair Monday through Friday or Sunday evening through Friday afternoon working on charts. As such, I'm concerned about my eyes. I don't want to burn out my retinas. I don't want to stare at white charts all day. We all know that black charts are much easier on the eyes, and so therefore that's what I run. Now, when I change to a black background, as you notice here on the right, everything's still white and everything around it, and that's almost worse because you're only seeing a small part of what I look at when I'm looking at the monitors. I have additional monitors and even additional charts on this same monitor that are all mostly black, and I don't want to see this white popping out. So what I'm going to do, I'll leave that white, cancel this. I use a couple different browsers. I'll use Chrome, Firefox. I'll even use IE once in a while. But I have an add-on on the Chrome browser, and I have a similar one on Firefox. And what it does is it inverts the colors. This one's called Dark Reader. And now I have a beautiful all black chart, something that investing.com doesn't offer. So that's it. And right now, this is pretty much where I need to be. So that's the whole process and getting to where you need to be. Create the account, log on, and I'll show you from going forward real quickly how to set up your charts. Um, Let me move this trend line away. All right, so couple things we can look at. You have the watch list I loaded here. I can always change that watch list. If I want a clean view of the chart, what I can do, I can move this over a little bit, but it stops right there. This is all that I can do to the right. I can move this to the left, but why? Why expand your watch list that much? You want to see the chart. If you look closely, and it's hard now that I changed to the dark reader mode, but there is a little button right there, a little arrow right about here. If I hit that, my watch list is hidden. And I can do the same on the drawing tools on the left. So now I have a very clean view of a chart without any clutter, anything that I don't need. So if I really want to focus on this particular chart, I can do so. But I can bring back my drawing tools and I can bring back my watch list at any time. The benefit of having the watch list here, if I want to toggle between um, the securities that I'm looking at, now I went to the NASDAQ 100 futures, I can do so. So you can click on whatever you want. Okay, now let's just we'll work from the top here, from right to left, and then we'll just hit the drawing tools real quick and we'll wrap this up. One important note, as I mentioned, every time you log on, you need to download whatever chart layout you're working on. Unfortunately, that does not happen automatically like some charting programs do. Each time you'll have to pull up whatever chart layout you want, but not a big deal. We're talking a couple clicks and then you're good for the day. However, keep in mind that as you're annotating these charts and adding your indicators down below and getting this program set up, you need to save that layout. And what'll happen is even once you've saved the layout, you might come in on another day and add a bunch of annotations to an existing chart or a new symbol. What I found is sometimes it seems like they may auto save once in a while, but a lot of times they don't. And I've done a lot of work on a chart updating it. I switch to another chart or another layout, or I log off, come back in, and all my annotations are gone. I have to redo it. So just make a point here as you go, click on this, save chart layout. You can't overclick it enough, or especially before you log off if you've added any trend lines or drawings or anything else to the chart. This right here will let you select a different layout. If you want to look at quad charts, for example, click on that and there's 4 different charts. There's ways to do symbol linking or just disconnect the symbol linking so you can have different charts and can compare. I just like one clean chart. That's just me on this. But again, the feature's there if you want it. Here's another nice feature. For example, if you remember right side of the chart, you want to share your chart in the trading room, just click this little camera icon. It'll take a snapshot of your chart and you can save that chart and then upload it and post it in the trading room and share what you're seeing. This is compare or add a symbol, so you can add another symbol behind this one to compare it. indicators. So you can see that I've already added these indicators. They were here in my layout when I loaded it, but as you're setting this up or changing your chart as you go, you want to add an indicator. Well, they're all down here. You can scroll. All the usual suspects are here. And if you're looking for something in particular, like the MACD, type in MACD, click there, boom, and it'll add it to your chart. All right, so that's your indicators. And then, of course, guys, remember again to save that chart layout once you've added your indicators. Make sure you save it before you close it. Next up is the settings, the chart properties. A lot of flexibility here. That's what I like about these charts. And again, these run off the TradingView charts. So if you're already familiar with TradingView, yeah, I don't need to show you, explain this. Play around with this, change your background colors, grid lines, and all that. I have my grid lines hidden. If you change your colors and you notice there's grid lines all over the place, you can either match the color, or what's even easier than that, just click on the color here. This is the opacity right here. You don't see the grid lines because I have them also black, but if they were another color, they'd show up there. Just make them completely transparent, and then you won't see them there. Again, a lot of stuff there. You can add the watermark, which is the symbol, name, and ticker behind the security, but I leave it out. I like the chart clean. It's right up here. You can see which security you're at. So I have that watermark set down completely transparent. You can see there, so you don't see it. What else? Style, all the basic stuff. The candlestick charts, you can use bar, line charts, whatever you want. That's also up here, these settings up top. You can change it here as well. You can customize the color of the candles. Again, a lot of flexibility. I like log scale, so I have that checked. I like auto scaling. Um, what else? You can change the margins if you want a little more space up at the top of your chart or at the bottom or on the right hand side. You can also, instead of changing your right margin here, let me close this, you can just click, hold, and drag. Oh, I grabbed a trend line. That's why it didn't move. Click, hold, and drag, and look, you can have as much right margin as you want on the chart. If you're using a scroll wheel, again, zoom in, zoom out with the scroll wheel. Pretty cool functionality compared to some other clunky charts like stockcharts.com, which I'm paying, a good penny for that, and I can't do this once I'm in a chart. Very clunky, old, outdated, but again, there's some reasons that I stick with stockcharts.com, which again, I don't want to get off topic on this video. And also in the chart settings, make sure time zone, well, you can set it where you want. I live in the East Coast. I'm in the same time zone. I'm, in Florida, same time zone as New York. You can change it to your time zone. You can put the session breaks for whatever trading session it is. Stocks are going to show you lines at 9:30 and 4 o'clock, whereas futures have different sessions. So, you can add those if you want or not. And again, here you could do that through the chart settings or right here where you can switch between the candlestick area bar chart. Um, One important thing to note too, I don't think I covered this yet, on on the drawing tools, when you make a trend line, let's just make a new one here. I'm going to click the trend line tool. I'm going to draw a trend line. This thing pops up right here, this box. I don't know if you noticed that. Once I pulled out the trend line tool, and you can move it. It's usually up here up top. Put it where you want and quickly change the color, change the thickness of the trend line, add an arrow on the end, play around with it, do whatever you want to that trend line. A lot of customization in this program. But one thing that I don't like about it, we're on a 60-minute chart right now, 60-minute time frame. You can see here, 60-minute chart, and it shows as a 1 hour time period up there. What will happen at this point if I flip over to a daily time frame? It's the same security, the NASDAQ 100 futures. Now I have that purple line there. I don't like that. I like to keep my intraday charts, my 5-minute charts, 10-minute charts separate from my 60-minute charts. I like to keep my 60-minute charts, the drawings separate from my weekly and daily time frames. And you can see this trend line showed. So what to do? It's again a shortcoming in the program, in my opinion. Click on that trend line, click Format here, go to Visibility, and then you have to uncheck minutes, days, and weeks. Now again, keep in mind we are on a 60-minute time frame. Here they call it 1 hour chart. Here they say 60-minute on the chart itself. So which one is it? It's this one right here. If you're on a 60-minute chart, they consider that an hourly chart. 60-minute, 120 minutes, those are hourly, 1-2 hour charts. So what I did is I unselected days, minutes, weeks. So if I go to a 5-minute chart now on this security, click that 5-minute tab, that trend line will not show. And if I go to a daily or weekly chart, it will not show. And yes, unfortunately, you have to do that with each and every trend line. That is the default setting, and I have not found a way to change that setting where if you draw a trend line on a particular time frame, it will only show up on that time frame. So again, like I said, shortcomings to every charting platform. No, not a single one is perfect. And let's get rid of that one. You can remove it by clicking on it and hitting remove right here, or you can click on it like I did there and just hit that little remove button, that trash can. All right, so again, you can toggle between your time frames here. You can hit the drop down menu and select from all these different time frames right there. Drawing tools are your basic. Actually, not even basic. You have a lot more drawing tools in this program as well as TradingView than a lot of other charting programs that I've used. You have trend lines, trend line angles, horizontal lines, horizontal rays. You can see everything. I'm not going to read them all out. It'll take too long. Basically, the last on each of these, the last one you use, that'll default again. So if I go to a horizontal line, well, I still had a trend line here I have to get rid of. Let me get rid of that. So there's horizontal line. I add it, and it's there again. So I just click again if I want to add an additional horizontal line. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a repeat tool or a key that you press down. So if I wanted to add another, if I'm over here and I want to add one more horizontal line, I got to go back here, click it again, and then put the horizontal line in. All right, let's get rid of those two real quick. Next up, different tools, and you can play around with these. Andrews pitchfork, shift pitchfork, Gann squares, boxes, Fibonacci retracements, time zones, all that good stuff. Like I said, a wealth of drawing tools in these things. I must have activated one there. Here's some different drawing tools: a brush, rectangle, different shapes. You can choose from. Here's your text tool, text, notes, price levels, balloons, arrows, all that good stuff. This one's good. This is a pattern drawing tool. So for example, you want to draw a triangle pattern, just draw it here, A, B, C, D, make your triangle any way you want it, drag it around, move it, and get it the shape you want, and then just drag it and overlay price. I'm just showing you real quickly. I'm not adding this to price, but again, these are all flexible and you can move them around. It takes a little getting used to, but fun little useful tool. Let's see. And these are just tons of little icons, arrows, and things like that you can put in. Bunch of junk, in my opinion. Don't really need that stuff. Other than arrows, arrows are useful. This is a measuring tool right here, and I like this one a lot. Let's move this over. Nope, let's get rid of that and hit it one more time. Click on measuring tool, and I want to measure this move from this point all the way up to where the what are we on, NASDAQ 100 futures. This latest move was 6.71%. So you can see it there. The shaded box shows you that. A quick way to measure a move. I like that. Magnifying glass to zoom in. I don't need that again because I have a scroll wheel. I can just scroll back and forth on my mouse and zoom in. But if you don't have that, there it is. Magnet mode, stay in drawing mode, lock all drawing tools, hide all drawing tools. Again, you play around with the settings. And I think I've covered most of the key points. Okay, and as we wrap this video up, if you're still with me, it's because I assume that you're interested in this investing.com platform. Like I said, why not? It's free, add it on. It's extra backup. Maybe your main chart. Sometimes every now and then people tell me their charting service they're using goes down, and I've seen that too over the years. So it's, if nothing else, a backup charting platform. And they also, if you're going to create the account, whether you create the account or not, they have a free trading app, and you don't have to have an account to use the app. I'm sorry, I called it a trading app. An investing.com app has a lot of stuff in there. If you do create an account, then the benefit is it just has your watch list already saved. But really, I've used it for years, and you don't have to. I don't even, be honest with you, I don't even think I've connected my investing.com account with the app because it has everything I need when I log on. So what I'll show you real quick, when you log in, it'll look something like this. You'll have a menu up top. You can get to what you want. If you have a portfolio, I guess in this case maybe I already had a portfolio saved, and you can see here, for example, S&P 500 futures, NASDAQ futures, gold, silver, crude oil, and the dollar. So let's say I want to look at the NASDAQ futures, see what they're doing. Well, number one, when I wake up, I grab my phone, I open this app, and right away, immediately, I can see what the futures are doing with just one or two clicks. I'm on the futures. And then I'll know, wow, the markets look like they're going to gap down today or gap up or nothing, nothing going on. This will show you a quick view of what the futures are doing again, and you can scroll through. And if you haven't created a portfolio, they do have a section when you click on markets up top, slide over a little bit to the right, and it'll say index futures, and it will show you the Nasdaq and Dow and S&P 500 futures and all that. So I guess you see here it says click this arrow to view charts and additional information. So let's go to the next one. So I click the arrow on the Nasdaq 100, and here's a bar chart. I'm not a big fan on not bar charts, area chart. I'm not a big fan on these. Now, what I said, and this was 3 years ago or so, I posted this in the trading room. Click on the chart to open a streaming candlestick chart and to be able to select from various time periods. You actually don't even have to do that. You just tilt your phone sideways when you're in this mode right here, and then boom, you're going to get this chart. You're going to get a candlestick chart, and you're going to have various time frames right here. You can slide to scroll up and down and uh, to toggle between the charts, select different time periods. You can pan, zoom in and out, all good stuff. And again, you're watching real-time futures charts. You're watching the futures tick, up tick by tick in real time, all the way down to a 1-minute streaming chart. Just all around good stuff. Useful, very useful in my opinion, especially when you're out on the road. And again, you want to just check a watch list of your favorite stocks, and more so just than get a quote. You just want to see a chart. How is it traded today? Um, and you have, let's see, also you can click on, again, they have ETFs. And they already have the most popular ETFs already listed for you. So you don't have to spend a lot of time creating watch lists. They have a lot of great watch lists. The most popular commodities, the most popular or the big movers, biggest gainers and losers, or most actively traded stocks, bonds, ETFs. It's all there for you at the touch of a button. And I should mention too, if you don't have the paid account for $40 a year, when I log on, I have an Android phone. I open the app, I get one pop-up, an ad. I hit the back button and it's gone, and I never see a pop-up again. The only pop-ups, you have a little thing down here on the bottom. It's so small I don't even notice it on my phone. I mean, if you have one of those older, smaller phones, maybe you see it. But honest to goodness, you know, it's the ads. They don't keep popping ads up once the app is open. That's what I like about it. Just these little bar ads down at the bottom. So there it is. And then finally, they have an economic calendar. Now, when you log into right side of the chart on the welcome page, when you're a member, you'll see an economic calendar, and that's from investing.com. And what I've done is I went ahead and configured that calendar when you log in, so you only see the U.S. data. And again, if they give you that option. You click here and you go into the options, change your settings. If you live in the UK, you can see set it to UK, Canada, any country you want. But I have filtered out to only show me the US um, economic calendar data, and also the market moving events. That means 3 bulls or more, 1 to 3 bulls. These are your market moving events. 3 bulls means more important, 3 stars, whatever you want to call it. And the 2 stars, they can sometimes move the market somewhat, or crude oil, but again, durable goods, things like that. So just a great tool to use at a glance. And there's the filters when you go into the settings. Oh yeah, and it has a dark theme or a light theme. You know me, I like the dark themes, easy on the eyes, especially at night. And you can select your country and everything I just mentioned there from the settings. So that's it. Great tool, both the website app and the online app, or mobile app, I should say. And if you guys have any questions, again, members of the site, if you have a question, just drop me a line in the trading room, and I'll be glad to answer that for you. This has been Randy Finney with Right Side of the Chart. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube. Have a great day.